Well, shout out to my left laners. Make sure you go to the SiriusXM mobile application to check out our interviews and more. And you know, here at the Punchline Academy, we are all about giving guys their flowers and bringing the best MCs that have ever touched the microphone. I got my guy, R.A., the Rugged Man, in the building. What's up, brother?
Hey, peace, man. How you doing? Thanks for having us.
Thank you. I am minding my business professionally. We were having some interesting conversation. You're overseas, right? And I think when people in the United States think about overseas, they envision it like it's the land of only real hip-hop. But being there, is that the case, or are guys trapping and drilling, or what are they doing?
No, they got the new shit too, but
Okay.
you know, and then the older people go, no, that new stuff is not so good like this, you know. But but Europe as a whole always kind of, no matter what the art is, they kind of respect the art longer.
Okay.
They go like, you know, like Groucho Marx used to say, in America they like your last film.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
as good as your last film.
Mm-hmm.
And in Europe, you're as great as your greatest film or your greatest work.
Mm-hmm.
So they respect artists forever.
Yeah.
You know, if you made something that they love, they respect it forever. In America, they'd be like, "Whoa, ain't they washed up? What they did lately?" You know. So that's why a lot of our goats are over there making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Where over here they'd be like, "Well, that ain't the, you know, they don't have 100 Spotify million streams or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to curse on here?
Of course,
Yeah.
the Punchline fucking Academy.
Where were you selling moonshine? In what state?
New York.
Oh, shit.
Well, it's called the Nutcracker.
Like upstate or
no,
something?
in the fucking
No,
Bronx.
right in the city.
I didn't know they did that in the Bronx.
No, the fucking Bronx. So
When he
Nutcracker.
said that, I'm like, oh, like you know, reality TV. They have like the crocodile hunters and like all these people.
nah, this is a real thing. So
Not the
Sticking you in the
crocodile
woods
hunter.
with overalls
Yeah,
on,
that
making
kind of
this
thing.
shit.
it's not like that. So the interesting thing though is that the actual Nutcracker was created by an Asian man named Jose, who's Peruvian. So he's Asian, but he talks straight fucking Spanish like a Dominican.
Wow.
Jose.
Yeah.
He and you can actually have the original Nutcracker. The place is called Flor de Mayo. It's on 100th Street in Broadway, and one of them will floor you.
Wow.
So all we did was take what he did in the restaurant and just convert it into the streets.
Yeah, sell it in the streets.
And sell it in the streets. So I think you've done an amazing job of the direct-to-consumer relationship with your fans, right? Being able to just survive this long, tour this long, with this relationship that you have with your fan base. And how is that building with them? Like, how do you build the trust with the consumer so they can keep supporting, keep buying the merch?
You know, a lot of people, you know, they kind of try to change with the times, or change what they're about to kind of fit the narrative or fit the record sales or whatever. And I kind of just do me for my entire career, my entire life. So the people who get on that train with me, they kind of stay with it, because it's not like, oh, he's doing some fake shit now. It kind of just be me. So they stick with me for decades. I mean, it's been decades. And also, I collaborate with younger artists. I collaborate with older artists. So, you know, sometimes you'll be at a show and it'll be the younger kids like, oh, you did records with this artist that I like. That's like a newer artist, you know. And then it'll be, oh, I remember the records you did in '92 with this artist that I like. So I just got a lot of different age groups of fans. Like a lot of my peers from the '90s era, they kind of, you go to their show and it's 50 and over. You're 50 and over,
Yeah.
maybe 40 and over. Me, you go to my shows a lot of times.
What,
You know,
what year you got signed? 92?
92,
92.
yeah, Jive Records, yeah. I was a teenager though, so I'm still younger than a lot of these. Like a lot of people think I'm older than dudes that are like 5 years older than me. I'm like, nah, I was just a kid when I was doing that shit in the 90s, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, that must have been like a lot of pressure, Tone, like being signed as a teenager. Because when we had Daz on the show, all of the shit that happened on the Chronic, he was 16 years old. So he was making classic records at 16 years old. And you're just thrown into the land of stardom. And you're a fucking kid. Like there has to be something hard.
That's not the hard part, you know, because you got all these oh, you're the best, and you know, when you're on the up and you get the record deal, then everybody, you're so great. They want shit from you.
Yeah.
And you don't know that. You're like, they're all saying I'm great because I'm
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So it's not hard. That's not the hard part. The hard part is when that buzz dies a little bit, and then people going like, you ain't shit. You ain't never been shit. And you ain't never been shit. You're shit. You're garbage. And then you're like 19, 20, 21, and you're like, whoa. The whole world fucking hates me. I'm, you know, this is fucked up. You know, maybe I am a piece of shit. That's the hard part, at least from in my world. And then you slowly go, nah. People just follow, you know, they're followers most of the world. Yeah. So you go, I'm not a piece of shit. I'm good. Keep doing what the fuck you're doing. And then once you get past that hurdle, you go, oh, and then you get some people saying, oh, he sucks, and then you find all the people that go, I love him, he's great, his music changed my life, and that you know, that's where you focus your energy towards.
So you gotta
those
get
people.
through all the negative shit. You gotta just look past that.
Yeah, and any young artist listening now, like, it doesn't matter if you're Michelangelo or the greatest filmmaker that ever lived. There's gonna be people that say that you are fucking terrible, and they hate you. It don't matter how you could be the great Muhammad Ali. He's not as good as you know, this guy. You know, like, it don't matter how great you are. There's gonna be people who try to shit on you. So if you're consumed by any of all the negative shit, and you're trying to change what you're doing because some knucklehead asshole said something negative about you, had an opinion about you, you're not going to have your own voice. When you realize, like, I'm me, let me be me, let me do me, that's where you get your voice, and just do that. Don't let the influences from people and, you know, the negativity, because that started bringing me down a little bit after the whole Jive Records thing, where oh shit, maybe I'm not shit. You know, it took me a couple years to get out of that dark hole and the depression and realize, nah, motherfucker, this is what you do, and you do it good, and you can fucking body everybody. Like, stop listening to these idiots. Just keep going. So it take time sometimes. So don't.
You know, Ray, I was just thinking right now, right? Another teenager who experienced stardom early in their career was LL Cool J, and he received a lot of crazy criticism because he was making like sappy love songs, and he turned that into his career. He built it as his platform, and now he's literally in charge of one of the biggest platforms, which is Rock the Bells. And this is how I want to tie this in. A year ago, you were touring in Austin, and you brought out one of the most legendary figures in hip-hop, MC Sha Rock, to your show.
She killed it. That was an honor. Yep.
First of all, it must have been dope for your audience to experience that moment. And a lot of people don't really know Sha Rock, so I know you probably brought her out with like a little introduction, letting people know who she was. But what does she mean to you?
Oh, she's one of the greatest MCs of all time, and one of the most influential. I mean, she changed the game. There's no female MC without her. She is the first solo female MC, and she was a beast, and she was destroying guys. Like, back then, when, you know, you're talking about the late 70s, early 80s, think about it in hip-hop. So she was just a groundbreaker. So when she shows us love like that and comes out and go, oh, yo, I'm a big fan of yours too, and blah, 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 and we get on the phone together, it's like, oh, Sha, you're a fucking legend. Like, she's arguably could be on the Mount Rushmore of the pioneers if you put, you know, the Kaz's, Mel's, you know, the Sha Rock could be right up there. Mo D, I mean, she's up there, man. So yeah. But also, you brought up LL being young. That was also an era when hip-hop was a youth-oriented sport, and the greatest rappers were 17, 18, 16, 19. Like, now, if you're 16, and you're whack, they're like, it's okay to be whack, it's a kid, you know? It's like, nah, like Rakim was 17, Cool J was 16, and they were destroying everybody. I think old men got into rap, or were able to remain into rap when it became more of a business, and old men are better at business than young boys. So Jay-Z's, you know, these businessmen get to take over the game, and Nas has a group of businessmen and the businessmen. So I don't know. There's all different things, but LL was a GOAT. But also, you said he went through the people dissing him and all of that shit. I mean, he made the song about it because Big and Defy, he was a superstar. Walking with a Panther, everybody was waiting for this album to drop, and then they go, oh, it was whack. He disappointed everybody. He's washed up, and because now you had Kane and Cool G Rap and all of these guys. And then he came back with Mama Said Knock You Out. And on that Mama Said, which is a classic, you know, all-time great album, he had the song called Cheesy Rat. Yeah. Where he said, I go to the mall, they throw my old tapes at me. You know, they Cheesy Rat, you ain't all that. That was what the song was about, describing his era of going through his second guessing himself, you know? So.
I like this thing that you said about, like, the older men got the business. At what point in your career do you feel like you started to really understand the business?
It didn't happen yet. I'm a bum. I'm a good rapper, but my business is trash. The business side, I know so many rappers way less known than me that make like $1 million doing all their fucking. Yeah. They got that shit in order. I see these young kids that are garbage rappers that really know how to make the money, you know, and I don't have it like that, you know. And a lot of the legends, you know, I'm not saying me, but like, you know, my peers and the people I looked up to, you see them fucked up in the game, and you're like, damn, you know. But you know, I'm doing it right though. I shouldn't say that because I got 2 children. I got them beautiful fucking house in Berlin. They're living good. My kids are living privileged. You know, they don't live the life where, you know, when we was on the struggle and all of this shit. My kids live in a nice house. They got nice toys. They got a nice TV. They got nice clothes. And I did good for my family. So I was just, you know, since my beginning, the self-deprecating shit, you know. So I'll be like, yeah, but still my business, if my business was tight, like say a Tech 9 or one of these motherfuckers that really know business and have Travi in the corner, these guys know their business. I mean, I would be 10 million over and over again, you know. Yeah. But you know, but right now I do my shows, I do my little merch. I'm in the, you know, so I'm able to make a living, which I can't cry about that. I've been making a living since 1992. You know, I went through some dry spells where the money was fucked up, and I went through some blackballed, and you know, people go, yeah, right. No, legitimately, I couldn't book shows because of my reputation. It was all this crazy shit, and I had to go to overseas to try to get money. There was all of that crazy shit. But then all those old, decrepit people who tried to hold me back, they were all dead, or they fucking left the industry, or they got fired, or they signed like Backstreet and don't care about me no more, you know, rap or whatever. Yeah. So the younger kids came up and started independent labels like Raucous and all of this stuff, and RA's our guy, we love RA. I'm like, motherfuckers love me? The industry hates me. Nah, the younger kids like you. Well, they're not kids, but 20, 24, 25. But the old 50-year-olds, they you know, they didn't give a fuck what happened to RA anymore. So I was able to rebuild a career through the decades of just doing what the fuck I do and growing the fan base, you know. So
man, free jewelry here on the Punchline Academy. I am the Inphamus Amadeuz. RA, the Rugged Man, is here. Let's play a classic. We back here on the Punchline Academy. That was classic heat here on SiriusXM's Shade 45's The Punchline Academy. My guy R.A., the Rugged Man, is in the building, in the left lane, speeding at high velocity. Now, you had mentioned about getting blackballed, right? And we always hear these stories of artists getting blackballed. They can't get shows. And like, at what point did you realize that this was a thing for you?
Well, a lot of rappers bullshit. Like, a lot of rappers are whack and don't have fans, and they be like, I'm blackballed. No, motherfuckers, you're not blackballed.
You're whack.
You just don't know what the fuck you're doing, and you're whack, you know? But, no, but I was a wild young man, you know? And there was a lot of, I mean, you know, I like when other people tell the stories because then it legitimizes it. When somebody come on, I'm blackballed, it never feels real. But, you know, you could talk to all the OGs from that decade, and they'll be like, no, R.A. was... They would say, do not fuck with that motherfucker. He's crazy. Do not let him near your family. Get him the fuck out of here. Do not let him in the building. Do not let him at a venue. Do not let him at the studio. Do not let him... Lock him out. Lock him out. Get the cops. Like, that was me. But, so it wasn't like, oh, I was blackballed because some record executive didn't like... Nah. That was I don't know. When did I realize? No, it was after the Jive thing, obviously, you know, because I started the big riot and the police came and all of this shit and fucking the hookers with duct tape and all of this stuff, and then a 700-man riot and people pulling out pistols and all of this crazy shit, and then they said we can't work with him and put him on freeze, and then they wouldn't let me out the contract, and then other labels wanted me, but then Jive was saying, you know, hey, if you try to buy out his contract, the guy's a lunatic, hasn't sold a record yet. So it was like a legit blackball. It wasn't like, you know, no bullshit. But then what had happened is, like I said, the people who were like scared of me or whatever, they got older, they moved on, they lost their jobs or became onto bigger things or whatever.
Motherfuckers died.
Yeah, or died, all of that shit. So then years later, like I said, there was a, you know, when the vinyl market was really taking off, you could do a white label. Yeah. So, you know, white label pressing. Like the people who were legends to me, like Brand Nubian and Sadat would be like, yo, I'm a fan. I beg, yo, let's get in the studio. Press up a 12-inch, sell it to Japan, sell it over here. All of a sudden you're making money from these little 12 inches, and then Stretch Armstrong would play it, and Pete Rock, Future Flavors would play it, and that's just me with no promotion. I'm getting radio play, Hot 97, all the respectable place, mixtapes, Mr. C tapes, boom, boom, I'm on everything from just me, you know. So that's when I said, oh shit, like they could try to stop me from getting industry money,
but you can still get street money.
But it'd take a minute to learn the street hustle, you know, because when you're, like you said, a teenager, they're all coming at you. We're going to sign you. We're going to get your deal. We're going to blow you up. you don't know that, like, oh, if they leave, you can still do something. You go, whoa, everybody left. I don't have a career now. All the important people don't want me. They're scared of me. They boom, boom. So where's my career go? And you're a kid. So that's where you panic. But then you realize, oh, no, this is a .X record. Now this company Raucous show, who the fuck are these guys? Raucous, some little nerdy guys with a record label and some what's the guy, Rupert Murdoch money and this and that, and they're signing all these artists, and they say, hey, we'll give you this much money for a 12-inch. Shit, I'm broke. I don't have my deal. Here's a 12-inch. Sell it to that. All of a sudden, that thing sells. What did the Raucous thing do? 400,000 copies, shit like that.
And
okay, boom.
It was the pre-start for a lot of artists like Eminem, Talib Kweli, Mos Def. I mean, that whole thing. A lot of people were introduced to artists through that label and that project. So when you look back at this incident that happened, right, that got you blackballed, let's say, do you have any regrets?
No, I got the zero regrets. It all part, because what if everything went great for me from 15, 16 years old, and then I'm 30 and everything falls apart? Maybe mentally I couldn't handle it at that point. It fell apart for me in my early 20s, so I had the dark time for a little bit of time, and then I built it up. And then what happened, I saw all my 90s peers that were doing good. When they were doing shitty, they went to drugs, they went to this, they fell off, they didn't even want to work no more, they had no ethic, it's like, they just was like, fuck it, the industry fucked me up. But like, I'm like, I already been through that 10 years ago. You had all the big opportunities come to you, the big records on all the stations worldwide, the big hit, and now you're giving up because the label ain't fucking with you no more. So I was like, the label stopped fucking with me, and when I was a kid almost, so. And then I ended up, all the labels started coming back after they started seeing my vinyl sell, and then Priority wanted to sign me, and I signed a deal to Priority, and then Capitol, and they were scared of me too, because I was still in my wild days, but there was some behind the scenes. The guy that had signed me, he put out that Just Like Music song for Eric Sermon, all of that stuff, and he also had. What was it? JT Money had a big song with a who that. Yeah. So then he wanted me to make all JT Money hooks. I said, I'm already a rugged man. Like I like that JT Money song, and then they had Master P, No Limit, because that was Priority, and they was like, go to Master P. So they had me sitting there with Master P, and I'm showing him all these dirty music videos I made with all these naked women, and he's throwing Little Romeo out the room like, hey, get out of here. He's like, and Master P's like, listen, all this crazy shit. If you want women, maybe do mud wrestling or so. Oh, with the accent, I can't do mud wrestling. And I'm like, mud wrestling? I don't. So I don't know how. So then it took me years to kind of figure out that I'm kind of my own entity and my own fucking weirdness, and be yourself. And you're not gonna fit in the Master P box. You're not gonna fit in the Capitol Priority box. You're kind of this own thing. And that's another thing too, is how the fans come, is like, sometimes I was saying the same thing with movies, when the mainstream or when the regular radio's playing the same kind of thing, this is what's popping, and then you go someplace for something that no one else is kind of making, they go, oh shit, so you grow a fan base like that, like, I'm not getting this here, I'm not getting it there, I'm getting it here. So for years of just being me, a lot of people get a lot of stuff they don't get elsewhere from that. So that's another way the fan base continued to grow. And also, if you ever come to my live show, I'm obliterating motherfuckers. Like you will see. I'll get on the microphone, the bars, the energy. So I do my show. I do good at that too. So because I come from that era as well. Because before the internet, you couldn't just be whack on stage. You had to really be an MC on stage. You couldn't just have like a hot, this or that, or your numbers couldn't be high and people just go to your show and you don't have to perform. You had to really be good on stage. Good, yeah. And I know that's the back in my day, we had to be good, like the old man talk. but it is a factual thing. Hip hop was more stage oriented. From the beginning, it wasn't about records. Before me, I'm talking about. So it was a hip hop. It was a stage oriented thing. You really had to know how to rock. or get the fuck off the stage. So different eras. You know, that's why when you look at some of the guys that are from my eras, the Redmans, the Method Mans, when they perform, you're like, those motherfuckers are putting on shows. You know, and not even me and them, I'm talking about way before us. Like, you brought up Shyrock, but look at Kaz. Like, you put Grandmaster Kaz on the stage right now. He's like 60, so I don't know how old he is, but he's, and even Raheem from Furious 5, I brought him on stage, and these motherfuckers rocked the stage because that's where they came from. It wasn't about records for them. It was about who's obliterating the stage, you know. So
yeah, shout out to my people who are obliterating stages, Tone.
Yeah, already. Despite having that blackball phase, I feel like your talent was demonstrated in the records you were selling. You say you were selling a lot of vinyls, so I felt like that's what kept you alive, because talent is undeniable at the end of the day. I wanted to do this thing, right? We like a 6 degrees of separation. Yeah. You were bringing in, you brought up JT Money. We've had him on the show before. Dope artist from down south in Florida. And who else? We were like trying to connect something. We've also had Shaheem on the show.
We have, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shaheem, yeah.
I'm trying to connect this, like, R.A. the Rugged Man, Shaheem the Rugged Child.
Yeah.
You guys ever have a conversation about doing some kind of project together?
No, you know what's funny? I saw Shaheem before he was the Rugged Child. I think Milk D had him first, or somebody, I don't remember, but there was a guy, James Johnson. There was a guy who was a publisher. He had a publishing deal that he wanted to talk to me about. So I went to his office. This must have been 93. And there's a kid sitting in the lobby.
Yeah, it's him.
I said, hey, this Shaheem, you know, I think you would like him. His voice, he kind of have like an MC Light voice. He's really dope. Boom, boom. And I met him. Then not long after, you know, oh, Shaheem the Rugged Child. I was like, oh shit, that's the kid, you know. So, and he started doing good things and was with the Woo and all of that. You know, Staten Island, you know, they got tons of talent, you know. You know who's kind of forgotten from that era, who had that fucking chorus, man? What was his name? King Just, remember
King
that?
Just, yeah.
He had that, oh yeah, hey yeah, hey yeah, oh, hey yeah. And that hook was crazy to me. I'm always like in my head, I should remake that hook. I'm like, nah, people won't get it today, I don't think. But
I think Easy Mo B produced that, because Easy Mo B, we had him on the show. He brought that up.
I never knew he produced that.
Yeah, Easy Mo B.
That was a banger, man.
Yeah.
Mo D, man. Mo B is a legend and one of the greats, man. Shout out to Mo B, and also a musical historian giant. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So you were about to say something when I mentioned the vinyls thing.
Oh no, you say, there's a thing that they say. What'd you say? Like if it's talent, it shine.
Talent is undeniable.
Yeah, I don't agree with that statement though. Because talent is undeniable, but it's undeniable to the people who get to hear it. You know what I mean? So sometimes you go, well, if it's undeniably talented, it's going to be big. That's not true, because I know so many of the greatest singers and songwriters and rappers that just don't have a manager, don't have a hustle, don't have this, don't have that, and they'll obliterate and body half of the top 20 rappers that they say in the magazine is top 20. I'm like, yo, that dude will body this motherfucker. So it's just how do you get these people heard and pushed? So
they get overlooked.
So whenever they say that, I'm always like, it's kind of, you know, if you gave the same platform for that person's music, that platform that person has, it'd probably be bigger than that person's music. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about that. But you know, it's a debatable topic.
Do you feel like a lot of rappers slip through the cracks because of that? Because they don't have that machine behind them pushing them?
And not just rappers. I think artists, and not just music either. Whether it could be filmmakers, it could be novelists, painters, writers. It's like you know, you get the famous painter. They have. In all the museums, all their artwork for everyone to see, and then you got somebody that's 10 times better than that motherfucker that's living with not a nickel to his name, painting in a shoebox, you know. You know, like, so it is what it is. That's the world, though. Yeah. That's the world.
That
you know?
is the world.
The same thing. Go to boxing. You know, like some boxer might never get the big fight ever, but he probably knock Canelo on his ass, you know, but he won't get the fight. That kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. So what do we have coming up? We have a film. What do we have coming up?
I just got done directing a film called Suicide Disco, and it was a tough one. We filmed half of it in Oslo. We had car crashes, we had stunt teams. So I filmed it in Oslo, and then the second half in a castle. We got a castle in Belgium, and we just wrapped, literally just fucking wrapped. So now we got to do, to edit the sound design, the score. So I don't know when it's gonna be finished and ready to promote. So I don't want to talk too much about it, because I'd like to come back and promote it when it's finished. And also my new album, I have about 15 songs done on it, and I think I'm gonna make about 10 more and use the 14 that kind of fit the most to be an album. And I got an EP too sitting there, but I'm trying to figure out what fits where, because now that the movie's done, because I wrote it, produced it, directed it, it was a lot of work. So now I want to work on the album and get that fucking thing out there. And there's a lot of collabs. I gotta figure out who the collabs are gonna be and what beats for who, which artists, all of that good stuff, you know. But but the new work, you know, I'm better than ever. I'm better than I ever was. I know artists say that, but I feel good about what I'm doing. So, you know, I know when some of the legacy artists come back, you'd be like, I guess it's good because it's them. Nah, my shit is, I'll obliterate motherfuckers. Yeah. Like I'm really confident in it, man. So and I can't wait. Next time I come back, we'll do the bars, we'll do everything. I'll play some music, whatever the hell we got to do. Right. So I'm ready to promote that shit. But I want to be ready to promote everything properly. This thing, I didn't even know I was doing Shade 45. They was like, "What are you promoting?" I'm like, I don't even know why I'm here. I'm just saying what's up. And he was like, "Yeah, you come back when you have something to promote." Actually, we do. My man Kenny did bring me up here. He's the one who forced me to come up. So no, I'm just playing. Much love to my man. I'm just kidding.
Well, special thank you to my guest Ari the Rugged Man for pulling up to the Punchline Academy. Make sure you support Kenny.
Yeah.
Full blast booking, tour for life. Okay, so my left laners, make sure you tap in. They're doing some amazing things over there. This is the Punchline Academy. I'm the Inphamus Amadeuz. Let's play some heat. We'll be back here on Shade 45.